Oh my God, I just totally got catfished. He looks absolutely nothing like his picture.
So I found out the guy that I've been dating is married with kids. His wife just reached out to me.
Welcome to the meat market. The single scene is a slaughterhouse and we are here to devour it. We are your hosts. I'm Lyndsie.
And I'm Jess.
And today our sizzling single is Swingin Steve. Welcome. So I say swinging for two reasons. One, you used to play baseball for the Cubs, right?
Yeah.
So ladies, he's good with his balls. He knows how to handle them. And you're used to getting to first base. You like getting home runs. I'm just going to hit you with all puns.
Obviously, grand slams is what I shoot for.
So the second reason I say Swingin Steve is you are a member of the swingers community, right?
Indeed, yes.
So I have a funny story. So we've known Steve for a couple of decades, a long time. We've worked together on many projects. And I remember he told me he was a swinger and I know nothing about that world. And he wanted to educate me. So he sent me an email invite to a swingers party. And I was at my corporate America job, checking my email, reading the swingers invite, and I get a message from an employee that's like, Lyndsie.
NSFW.
Lyndsie said, the employee says, don't check your personal emails at work. And I'm like, what are you talking about? As I'm still reading the swingers email. He's like, quit reading the swingers email. I'm like, oh, shoot. He's like, the boss is in there reading what you're reading and is reading the swingers email. And I was mortified. But then I was thinking, because she was a 60-year-old lady, had a lot of style, a lot of edge. I'm like, I bet she's writing that address down. And it's going to be the first one to show up at the party.
She's going to hit
hilarious.
you up after. Hey, about that.
So I never went to the party. But so tell us, how did you get involved in the swingers community?
Well, so I used to be a jealous dude. And I soon realized that was a turnoff, a big turnoff for women. And then in walked this lady who happened to be couple decades older than me, and it was like she and I saw each other Saturdays, Sundays, and if she liked me that weekend, Mondays, you know. So
she walked in where? Where did you meet her exactly?
Well,
set the scene
so
for
I
us a little
fucking
bit.
put my phone number on her car on the windshield wiper, and it was raining.
Wow. Are you
And the fact that I
me?
got a text message saying, "Who's Steve?" I just put my name and my number.
And it was raining?
And it was pouring. And I'm like, this has got to be fate.
That's
you know?
so funny. Did you live in the same complex? Was it the grocery store?
It was at the bank on Scottsdale
Road
in Earl.
Did you just you saw her
I
walk
saw a
in?
hot blonde hop out of a nice whip, and I'm
and
like,
she was older. See, younger
dude,
men, older women.
I just moved down here. I'm like, oh yeah.
Hilarious.
I just saw basically blonde hair and a nice ass, and I'm like, she gets my number.
Oh my God. Well, good for you
And
for having
then
that
she
confidence.
texts me and is like, back when it was Flicka's, we met at Flicka's, and
The rest is history.
It's funny because I was like, oh, I got a sugar mama. She'd bring over a bottle of Jack Daniels and a 12-pack of Red Bull and some weed or some shit. And I thought that was a sugar mama.
A bottle of Barefoot.
Little did I know,
That's
you know.
hilarious.
How fun. So she rocked your world. She
No, I
opened
rocked
your
hers,
eyes.
really. I mean, it's kind of like...
And so what was her situation? Was she married? Was she in a relationship and you were...
No,
or,
she
or
was
what was the swinging? What was that?
So like...
How was she
so
in the
like,
community?
You know, 6 years we were Saturday, Sundays, sometimes Mondays. And, you know, like, I'm like, hey, I think it'd be hot if, you know, you were getting fucked. I don't know. Can I talk like that?
So yeah, of course. So you enjoyed watching her have sex
I
with
mean,
another
I didn't
man?
know if I did or not. You know, it's just kind of like, you know, you watch porn or whatever, and it's like, all right, yeah.
You can say the words like you can enunciate them and say them
Like
normally. You can just say
pornography?
porn. Yeah, you don't have to lower
No,
your
it's cool,
voice.
it's cool, it's cool.
It's okay.
Hey,
It's okay.
Thanks, coach.
I got you.
So then it was like, you know, I Google search, you know, swingers, or what, you know, like, and boom, like, bam, who knew that this was the Mecca, one of the Meccas, you know, here in Florida. And,
Interesting.
And it was like, all right, cool. And then, you know, we went out and met this couple and went back to the house, and it was on and popping.
Let's get it
On
on.
and
Wow,
poppin'.
chicken, wow,
Yeah,
wow.
it was, and they were cool people, you know. Like, I met a lot of really nice and genuine people, you know. It's just a lot of people like my mom, for instance. God bless her. She was like, "What Why are you into that? I'm like,
why not?
why not?
I like what I like.
I like what I like.
So when you were with her and you were with other couples, then like you would be with the other wife and she would be with the other husband, or was it like an orgy situation?
It was like a lot of times it was so she wasn't necessarily like bi by any means, but she was try, she'd try it.
Try everything.
Just to, the situation or whatever, she'd play into it. And then all of a sudden it's like, the chicks just like were on top of each other before, and we were sitting here shooting pool, like bullshitting. They're having fun, and then it's like, all right, it's our turn.
So it was mostly two girls and then you.
And her husband, or
okay,
I don't know if they were married or not, but yeah, it's just like the more the merrier, really.
Okay.
So what is it? MFM. So some guy was talking about MFM, and I'm like, what is that? A radio station? Have you heard of that?
Skiing. Have you ever heard of an Eiffel Tower?
Oh, I can see the visual. So
have you? I think you have.
So it's the woman and then two men. Okay.
High fiving at the top.
Wow.
It's funny because there's a really attractive couple that I would hang out with on a regular basis, and the dude was he had a big dick, right? Mine's not that big. I mean, mine's average, right? But the funny part is he can never get hard. So I'm like, I win.
Hashtag winning.
I'm like,
oh my God.
Like, that's so funny, dude. But then like he would get mad at his fiance because he wanted to take the fucking attention off his limp dick, and would get mad at her, like, you're not into this. I'm like, dude, she's taking two dicks like as good as she possibly could. Like, she's into it, bro. Like, and then he's like, don't worry about it. We'll talk about it later on. I'm like, no. Like, we're here in the mix, right? And you brought me into this. There's no way I'm sitting here with you feeling some type of way over there while I'm hooking up with your chick. Like, I just feel like you'd be plotting.
So I want to know, where are these parties held? Are they held at people's houses? Do they rent a place?
I mean, there's a spot called My Secret House that is like a specific place that has playrooms and then there's encounters.
So with different toys and stuff. But
personally,
like
I like more like
natural
and
environment,
just like I don't want to
like a house party.
It's not all pretty people at those parties.
Yeah,
it's kind of like,
imagine it's quite the opposite.
Like, there's a convention in Vegas, right? Like
like every weekend.
Like every weekend. Okay. Well, I have friends that have an open marriage, and they went to some convention in Vegas once because they were like, maybe the swinger lifestyle is for us. Like, they'd done a lot of like threesomes with bringing another girl into their relationship, but they'd never done like full on swinging. And so they're like, let's go. We'll check this out. We'll see what it's like. And it's funny because when they got back and I asked her about it and I was like, well, how was it? Like, did you meet anybody? And she was like, bitch, we were the hottest ones there.
Yeah.
Like, she was like, the people that were there, was like, were not attractive.
Oh,
they were not like it wasn't people that we would be interested in. She's like, my husband and I were literally like looking at each other going like
I bet
where's
they
the
were
safety word?
Yes.
I bet they were so in demand.
Yes,
like,
they
wasn't
were. Oh,
everyone?
It was all over her. She said everyone was all over her to the point where they're like, okay, we're good. We're good for these couple hours. Like, we'll just spend the rest of the weekend like partying in Vegas like we do when we come here normally. Like, they're like, we'll skip the rest of the convention.
And the thing is, that's the glory of the swinger sites out there, is because you can pick and choose, and it's pretty authentic. It's not, you can't really get catfished when there's two people. Like, if you get catfished by a couple, they're doing something right.
So Jess, if we're ever feeling down on ourselves or insecure and feeling ugly, we just go to a swingers
go to the
convention,
swingers
and then we'll have attention.
They like
We'll have a pick of the bunch.
any like holiday, like Columbus Day or like Labor Day or Canada's New Year. I don't fucking know. No, but there's a party. Literally, like I could pull out my phone. I could pull out my phone right now.
Holidays.
Yeah, I could pull out my phone right now, look on the site, and there's probably a party tonight, either here, Vegas, or Florida.
Wow.
Like,
So these parties, people are just walking around and they have drinks and music. And how do you approach someone? Like, what do you say?
well, I mean,
Want to bang? Like, I mean,
like
seriously.
the drink. No, I mean, there's like, so for instance, there's the old Saguaro in Old Town.
Yep.
That was it would be a quote unquote takeover, and you know, it'd be the swingers community would just take over the hotel, and then, you know, they have people, there's little cliques and whatnot within the community or whoever's there. But this one time, I brought mushrooms. And let me tell you something.
You're a fun guy.
It's not, I'm a fun guy. And that was pretty quick. It's not really a sex drug. So.
Oh no!
It really
Yeah.
is. Sick.
So it didn't go back. Didn't go well.
Yeah, well, it's just like, you know, microdosing, and then everybody's like, whoa, just groovy with the lights and stuff.
The music's like,
and yeah, I felt kind of bad because kind of
it killed the sex
mood.
vibe.
Yeah.
You're like the other guy you're talking about that just couldn't make it work.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I didn't eat any. I was
Oh,
gonna
you didn't.
I was gonna be performing if need be.
That's hilarious.
It's like, I just, you know, took out all my competition.
So it's like, did I kill the mood, or did I just
Did I make the mood?
Yeah, did I just discover something?
Come here, ladies. Hello.
Joke's on you, boys.
That is smart.
Funny.
So tell us, you had told us a story that cracks me up about you at Geisha, which I loved Geisha. My heart was broken when they closed down. They had the best happy hour, and their food was.
What's there right now? Dust?
They're developing that corner, I think.
so, yeah.
Yeah.
But so you were sitting at Geisha, and there was a hot chick. So you tell the story.
So she's over there, you know, eating her edamame or whatever, having her sake bombs, and I'm like, wow, she's pretty hot. I was like, I'll get a sake bomb and some edamame, you know, and then I scoot one seat over, and then I got my roll, and I had scooted one other seat over, and just sparked up conversation, and she was like on it. I was like, whoa, it's pretty cool. She's really into me right now. Like, this is awesome. She's like, hey, I got a room at the Valley Ho. You want to go back to it? I'm like, sign me up. So we go back there, and you know, we're hanging out, and then all of a sudden she's giving me head, and in walks a dude, and I'm like, all of a sudden I'm on a roller coaster of emotions. Like, shit, do I have to fight?
Because are you full naked? Like,
yeah,
are you full
yeah,
naked? Full naked?
I'm like, yeah. I'm like, hey, there's a whoa, hold on a second. I like kind of like, hey, and she turns around and she goes, hey, babe, it worked. And I'm like, whoa, wait a second. You guys just punk me? Like what the fuck? I was so confused. I'm like, you're cool with this, man?
Meanwhile, you're like, I would have been into it if you would have just
Right?
said.
Just been honest.
It was crazy though.
So then did he join in?
Yeah, I mean, I was like, hold on a second, man. Because I was it was happening. It was going good for me. And I'm like, hold on, I don't want any really interruptions. So.
You're ruining the flow.
Right. But no, I mean, tagged him in, and it was good
That's
to go.
hilarious. Was it one of the rooms with the big tub in the middle?
Because
that could be fun.
No,
Valley
but it was
Ho has some fun rooms.
one of the lofts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no, not up to my par.
That's not what I meant by that.
I'm just fucking with you. But yeah, it was cool. They're like, we'll hit you up next time we're in town. I'm like, cool, do it.
And then you also told us that you actually get paid. Men pay you to take care of their wives.
In the
Talk about
past, yes. I don't know.
What an easy gig for you.
It was kind of out of spite. My ex, I'm like, man, this chick is not coming home. Fuck this. Like, I'm doing something crazy. And then there I was getting a message from this man. He's like, hey, I I need you to go meet my wife on Friday night at Blue Martini and, you know, just make her feel pretty. I'm like, all right. So I show up to Blue Martini and he's like, she'll be wearing this and this and this. I'm like, all right. And I locate her and she's at the well, like by the well. And there's no spot. There's no space. There's like a couple, her, and then the well. And I'm like, fuck, this is kind of going to be challenging. And then the couple gets up that was next to her. And then I see this dweeb like across the bar just eyeing her. And I'm like, oh, hell no. There's no way I'm going to lose to this guy. So I just kind of like swung in there. I'm like, hey, and it sparked up conversation with her. And then my pocket vibrates. And I check my phone. So Venmo payment, $250. I'm like, hell yes. Hell yeah. All right, cool. And then, you know, we order a couple appetizers and and then in walks the dude. Her husband.
The husband?
Yeah, and he had a bitter beer face. So I now know why he reached out. Is because she probably was not really into him. Mm-hmm. You know? And the plan was, you know, if she wanted to take it to that next level, cool. I could, you know, it was all part of the game, you know. I don't know if I should call it a game, but all part of the plan.
The plan,
if you will.
yeah.
And so he orders a drink and he's almost like chaperoning, and then he just disappears. I'm like, what the fuck was that? And leaves his drink on the counter. I'm like, that's an anchor. He's leaving that there so he can come back for it. And we went and I danced with her maybe 2 songs. And I'm like, yes. And ended up making like $1,100 or something like that.
And do you think he was watching you the whole time? Like that first Venmo?
With those glasses he had on? Probably.
Oh, that's so he was
From
getting
across
turned on
the
by
street.
watching. So that turns him on.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Wow.
Did you do anything though, like sexually with her, or was it was just
It was strictly
dancing
it was
and
strictly
talking
like just
and
meeting. You know, I complimented her, made her feel pretty. That was I did my job.
Was she pretty? Was it easy to make her feel pretty?
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
She definitely was out of his league.
Yeah.
You know. Sorry, I'm not sorry.
So we had asked you to come to the studio on a weekend and you were like, oh, sorry, this guy's paying me to fly to Vegas to bang his wife. Does that happen often?
So I'm straight. So on this platform that I'm on, there's a lot of bisexual and gay dudes. To each their own, not me. So I really don't get hit up that often, but when I do, it's one for the money for real. Yeah, I was excited. I was supposed to be going there this weekend, and they postponed it. And they're like, we were thinking of Hawaii. I'm like, yeah.
Nice.
If I don't have to lose the money that I'm getting,
Yeah.
being donated to me, I guess. I don't know how.
I was gonna say, how does that work? So do they fly you out? Like, do they pay your plane ticket?
I mean, that's part of the agreement. You
Okay.
know, like I'm not going to
Fund your own trip.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So are you what they call a unicorn, a male unicorn? Like the single guy that couples want to bring
It's
in?
like a bull.
Oh, bull.
Oh, it's called a bull when
You know
it's
what's
a guy.
funny is one year, it was Halloween and I fucking had nothing, no costume or anything. I'm like, I want to go to Fascinations, and they had a bull. They had a long sleeve shirt with horns
With a hood.
Yeah, and I'm like, hell yeah. So I had a Fu Manchu going because my plan was to be White Goodman from Globogen because people say I look like a fucker. And so then I was like, all right, I have this bull uniform and I have a Fu Manchu going. Fuck yeah. So I made a shirt that said 2 for 1 rides.
That's hilarious.
Mustache ride and a bull ride.
So I think that's pretty common. Like when I was single, I went on a lot of first dates where the guys were like, yeah, it really turns me on to watch my girlfriend have sex with someone else. Like I get so turned on when my wife is being banged by another guy. Have you ever had guys
I've
bring
never
that to your
had a
attention?
man say that to me.
No, you've
No,
never?
never. I mean, I know it's out there because I know couples. I know couples in the lifestyle, and I know that it is something that people do like it is like a fetish of people's, but No.
Personally, you haven't
no.
been that lucky?
I've never been that lucky. I've never been that lucky.
And it's not my cup of tea. I never partook. I like to be, monogamous, and I like to be numero uno. But yeah, it's quite apparent that there are a lot of guys that like that,
I think so.
that want to bring in other men to their relationship.
You want to be numero uno, whether you're in the lifestyle or not, you should always be number one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I just like to be with a guy that only has eyes for me and doesn't want anyone else to touch me,
Yeah.
Kind of
fair enough.
I don't know.
Yeah, so there's apps. So like similar to the dating apps, like similar to like just like regular heterosexual relationship
like
dating
Tinder.
apps, there's also swingers apps.
Yeah.
And can you look for like everything? You look for the unicorn or the bull and look for another couple and look for groups. It's like non-traditional, I guess, like lifestyle.
I popped a Starburst on my mouth. I shouldn't have done that. But it's so good. I unwrapped it. Didn't even know I unwrapped it.
That's funny.
There's a couple. I should be getting paid for sponsorship, but for advertising.
For plugging them, yeah.
3 Fun is one. Field.
I've heard of Field before.
So are there pretty unicorns out there? Because I know every couple wants to bring in a hot chick to the bedroom.
I mean, yeah.
Are there some pretty women that want to go in and join couples? What app was this on? Asking for a friend? What are they on?
Aaron's like listening right now, and he's like, yes.
Bring him in, baby.
You're welcome, Aaron. Yeah, I mean, there's filters, and then obviously there's the sites, where it's like they got a map and you can see where they're at, and it's like, that's not exactly where they're at because they're smarter than that, but.
And so there's the swingers community is pretty big here. I hear Anthem and Scott. So there's a lot of swingers. So is it what you said? The purple light on the porch
In Anthem
indicates that you are open for business.
Yeah, you can put it that way.
It's funny. So I was telling my mom's in town, and I was telling her that. I was telling her that, there's certain places where a purple porch light means that you're in the swingers community and it's like open for business. And the small town in the Midwest where they live, she was like, oh my God, there's this one house in our town that always has a purple light on the porch. And I was like, they might just be Vikings fans, Mom.
How funny.
But they might be swingers too. I don't know. I guess like they're everywhere, right? So it's like
they really are. And in the Midwest, it's few and far between. Vikings underwear.
So what are your hobbies? What do you do? I'm sure you do more than just swinging.
I'm really into art, painting, tagging, and music. Obviously, I'm a consultant for a local record label.
And so if you were to find the right one, would you stop your swinging ways if she was to ask you? Would you be willing to change your lifestyle if she wanted a monogamous relationship?
If it was the one, But it's like I'll throw hints in there like, hey, how about this and how about that?
Yeah. Do you date a lot? Like, do you use traditional dating apps, or do you date women outside of the swinging community often?
Yeah. I mean, I've in the past. Yeah. Right now I'm single, obviously, but I recently was with someone and she so happened to be in it as well, or familiar with it, and it worked out.
Yeah.
In her favor.
Are you able to find women like on the swingers apps? Are you able to find other single women? Like
there are, but from my experience is like they're that unicorn.
Yeah.
Looking for a couple.
They're not looking to date a bull. They're not looking to date another person. Okay. Interesting. So that makes it kind of difficult then.
It's
to date one person, I guess I should say.
Right. And if you meet someone, like I would love to meet a chick on, I've seen a couple on there that I'm like, damn, let's we can make this work, you know? And it's just, it's all about timing and communication,
Yeah.
Are you ready for it?
the Keep More Minute.
It's time for the
It's
Keep
time.
More Minute.
The Keep More Minute, brought to you by Tactical Tax Strategies.
I'm excited to hear the question of the day.
They keep more in your pocket. We keep more in your relationship. So we've got some listener questions. Today's question is from Fiona in Peoria. We may already know Steve's answer to this question, but she would like to know how to spice up her marriage. She's been married for 25 years and says that the relationship has become a little stale and stagnant. What should I do to keep my marriage alive?
Steve, we want your input.
Be open-minded, and maybe, while you're, who knows how stagnant it is, if they're even physical, but communicate. That's the biggest thing that in the lifestyles, communication is like, if you communicate, then we all know what the hell each other wants. Like if the relationship is stagnant and you're worried that he might go out and cheat, then just say you want to watch. And like maybe play as well. How important, married for 25 years is a pretty important relationship.
Right.
I think it's important to spice it up because when you're married for that long, you can fall into the roommate category. So I think it's always nice to go out, get dressed up, go out to a nice dinner, do a little bit of shopping, maybe go to Fascinations,
right.
Buy a sexy outfit, buy a new
check
toy.
it out. You don't even have to hook up with the people. You could just meet another couple, and live porn's the best porn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather watch something live than scroll.
Watch it online.
And so like that right there could spice it up. Like,
that's true.
Yeah.
Like,
boom.
try something new like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Try something new in the bedroom.
Like Kingsters.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
Kingsters. Coming back to the field thing, so in communication, so the reason how I know about that app is because there's these groups on Facebook, right, that are like, are we dating the same guy, things like that women post to see like if their man is talking to other women or things like that, or like, if they're going on a date with this guy, they're like, is anyone dating him already, right?
Man.
And often on there they'll post a picture and they'll be like, I found that my man has been using the Field app behind my back. Any women in here that he's chatted with on there. So it's like, that's like you said, like the importance of communication.
Right, and that could just be him and his like wild ideas going on in his head.
Yeah.
And not even really trying to pursue anybody.
Yeah.
Just like the thought of like, oh man, like this chick's hot. I think that they both like art. They both like crafts or, I think that it would be
like
a fun night of
fantasizing,
painting.
like fantasizing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And for instance, this dude recently, as of in the last week, this guy like start chatting with him. I'm thinking I'm talking to the lady, and come to find out it was the dude. I go over to their house, and I'm expecting her to know, like, oh, there's a stranger coming over to hang out, and well, she didn't have a damn clue. And she came down, she's like, I have a timer set for how long I'm going to stay down here and hang out. And I'm like, whoa.
Wow.
And then this dude was drunk, and he was like kind of pushy. And I'm just like, dude, this is like, I didn't even tell him, but I'm like, this, I'm not even into this right now. Like, let me beat your ass at a game of pool again, and then I'm going to dip.
Yeah.
And you could tell that she was like, and then he made some comment about like, you're just so sexy, blah, 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 about just a pretty, if she was was aware of what the situation, she might have taken the comment a little bit differently, but she's like, don't talk to me like that. Like I'm just that, an object. And I'm like, whoa, talk about putting me in a fucking awkward situation.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah, like the energy just wasn't
sweetheart,
right.
go to bed. Like, go to bed. Like, don't even trip. Like, I'm on your page right now because he's fucked up and it's uncomfortable.
Wow.
Yeah.
So now we're going to discuss an article. Again, I have a few more bones to pick with this one. So CNBC.com has this article, questions you should absolutely not ask on a first date. First one is, what's your dating history? Which, yes, I get, you don't want to talk about your exes, but if I was single at 40 years old, I don't want to go out with a guy if he's never been in a relationship before, if he's never had a girlfriend before, right?
You should know if the dude, just based on if you're going out with the guy. Like, obviously, his personality is, like he got you to go out on a date with him. What makes you think that he hasn't gotten, that's, I wouldn't ask about dating history.
But I want to know, how many serious relationships have you been in? Have you been married? Have you been engaged? I want to know
But do you need to know that on the first date?
Yes. Because if he's never been in a relationship before at 40 years old,
Yeah,
red flags.
That's true.
Right?
Or do you find that out before the first
Just
date?
ask if he has
that's
kids.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I guess.
Do you give your dating, do you give your history on a first date? Like, do you bring up that you're in the swinging community on a first date?
It just depends. I just read the situation, you know, like sometimes I'll, be like, oh my God, this is one time, like, and then just say like one like little tiny story and just see the reaction.
Yeah.
And some chicks have been like, what the hell? And I'm like,
please.
next, next, because.
Yeah.
So the next question is, this was great. Do you want to go on another date? That's true. You shouldn't say that because it puts the other person on the spot. Because every guy I went on a date with said that. And I'm like, yes, absolutely. I had so much fun. And I had no intention of going out with them again.
Yeah.
Then they're they're setting themselves up for failure.
Yeah, they are.
Well, and the article says, don't come across too eager. You want to play it cool.
Yeah.
But then the last...
What is this? Where's this from?
CNBC.com. The last one...
CNBC? You went to CNBC? Not like Glamour or some shit that was more...
This one I do have issues with. So... Drinks have been fun. Should we get dinner now? They say absolutely don't say that. But if you're having so much fun during drinks and he says, let's get dinner, wouldn't you jump at the chance?
If it was going well at
right?
drinks, yeah.
Because how often do you go on a good date?
sober
Why
up.
would you cut it short if it's going good?
I mean,
Right?
dinner's kind of what happens if like you run out of shit to talk about? Then you're stuck waiting for the tab. Like dinner's I think a horrible first date. I think a movie, dinner, like go challenge each other. Like go play darts, shoot pool.
Agreed. Yeah, that's definitely a better first
something
date.
hands on, so you can get hands
Yeah.
on.
But I think in this context, it's talking about drinks first. Like you've spent a couple hours getting
And
drinks,
you're having
right?
a great
And then
time.
you decide to go
So you already know
to
you're having
dinner.
a good time. You're being entertained.
Yeah.
So I'm all for doing dinner after drinks. So you're wrong, CNBC.com. So now it is time for the celebrity cut, where we marinate in the juices of the celebrity. And this one is
Celebrity
juicy.
goss.
I want to talk about Bonnie Blue. Do you know Bonnie Blue?
I know
a lot of people
Rotten.
don't. A lot of people know her, but they don't know her name.
Yes, I didn't know her name. When you brought her name to me, I was like, I don't know who that is. And then when you explained to me what she's doing, I was like, yes.
So
I've
let's
seen
see
her
if you know.
videos.
I broke the record of having sex with 100 men in one day. Now I'm going to
Stupid, and now
break the
she's got
record
swollen eyes.
and have sex with 1,000 men in one day.
Stupid as fuck.
Okay, good.
Like, come on,
What
dude.
is she
Like,
doing? Yeah, and
hold
she
on a
was
second, like-
crying my eyes. I can't see because I have so much juices in my eyes. Why would you put yourself through that? I don't get it.
wear glasses
Can
or
you
goggles,
imagine
something.
Wearing sex goggles.
like role play, something. Be a swimmer,
She comes in,
Olympic swimmer. They
she comes
fuck.
in a swim cap and goggles. And she's like, I'm ready for my 1,000.
Swim
To
goggles.
snorkel.
But so what is she trying to prove here?
I don't
get
know
it.
what. I don't know.
What is she trying to break a record?
Yeah.
What's the
Yeah.
record? 999.
No, she had sex with 100 men
Yeah,
in one day.
and-
I think. And is that
And
One
now
of
she's,
them-
yes, and now
is
she's
there
going
a
to 1,000.
record?
Why not just try 200 maybe?
Why not just
Well,
stop? Why not
like-
just be happy with
It's
100?
like, well, and the article probably CNN wrote is that she looked very tired. It's like, okay, that was 100 times 10. Like, girl,
How much time does each
Like-
guy have with her?
I know how many.
I
how
tried
many
to do
minutes
the
are there?
math.
Did you?
I'm like,
Did
how
you?
much
I was
time
thinking
in
this-
24 hours does 1,000 guys get? And I just, my brain couldn't take it.
well, it's not that hard.
24
Lindsay.
divided by 1,000, but then that came to like 0.04.
Well, you got to do 100 first, and then multiply that answer by 10.
Oh, yeah. But yeah,
Ask Bonnie.
awesome. Maybe I
Right,
will. I actually
right.
did
We
send her a
need-
message. I invited her on our podcast.
Boom.
She's too busy
Be
preparing
like, hey,
doing Kegels.
Bonnie, you got a shout out on the meat market. So, how long did it take for 100?
Oh my God, I
Like,
know.
I bet you they each. Oh, what considers it done? Did they bust?
You know what's funny?
I don't know.
Have you seen her promo? She's like, ladies, would you please be willing to donate your husbands because I
ew.
need 68 more men.
That
So
is
please, ladies.
disgusting. No.
Can you imagine
thank
sending your
you.
husband
So,
off?
that's so sad that she's got to advertise for it. That gives me hope for men because there's not 100 jumping on
Right?
that. They're like,
Yes.
wait a second, this bitch is
Last
crazy.
I checked, it's going to be in Vegas.
Are
My
you
husband's
serious?
like, what date is she going to be
It's
in
probably
Vegas?
gonna be live, streamed
I have free
live.
flights. I fly for free. That same day, he's like, honey, I got called into work.
You know what? If he can, if
And you're like,
if he
I'm
can-
the flight attendant this time.
if he can get her to come on the podcast, listen,
Right,
okay,
yeah,
it's
okay.
all worth
I'll
it.
take one for the
Let's
team.
take one for the team here.
That's hilarious.
So on that note, what is your favorite date spot? Like, where do you take a girl if you want to impress her?
I like a different point of view. Is that
Oh
the name of it?
yeah.
Is
Yeah.
it the one at the top
At
that
the top,
rotates?
yeah,
I've
it's at
never
that
been there.
hotel.
It's at
It's on one of the hotels.
Tapatio Cliffs.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice.
Rooftops for some reason is like,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't like me, I can throw you off. No, I'm just kidding.
Oops, she had too many
Just-
martinis. She slipped.
Bye.
Next.
That's a good
That's
place. Any other places that you can think of that you like?
I like. Have you heard of? I think it's called Ghost Ship. It's
Oh,
like
Ghost Ship,
I've
yes.
never heard of
I-
that.
Well, or is it Ghost Donkey? There's Ghost Donkey downtown, and then
Do
there's.
you
And
just randomly get kicked? Don't.
no, I think it's Ghost Donkey, isn't it?
Ghost
I don't
Ship is
know.
like.
Is that the one
maybe
that's
it's
like
not
you're
Ghost Ship. Maybe it's
you're
like,
inside a pirate ship, right?
Yeah. Well, it's like rum-based
called-
drinks.
Yeah, what is it called? I've been there. I can't remember what it's called, but in the windows is like you see like the ocean, then you see like cannons firing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
yeah.
Or
I
like that
think-
train.
Yes, the train.
train.
The
I was
30
going to say that
Station
Century
32
Grand. For
Century
me, that's
Grand,
the perfect
yes.
place for a first date because it's an experience.
Yeah.
You go in,
Yes.
it looks
Exactly.
like you're on a train. It looks like you're going
Yeah.
through snow or trees and rivers.
Yeah.
But you can have cocktails and they have little snacks.
Yeah. Oh, look at that! Look at that! And you're just stationary.
For me,
Yeah.
that's like I would love a guy to take me there on a first date.
Yeah.
because it's something different. It's
Or-
not just a typical bar.
Or a sporting event, you know.
yeah,
I mean, that was my worst date. Was a sporting event.
yeah.
What
Your
happened?
worst? Tell us.
Yeah, it was like when I was living back in Boise. My best friend, he had a smoking hot chick, and she's like, "Hey, my friend's here." I'm like, well, "You got a friend? Hell yeah, let's go on a double date." You know. So we went down to the basketball game. It was like minor league basketball, D League, and they're like, "We're hungry. We're hungry." I'm like, well, there's Pizza Hut. You know, there's concession stand. You know, no, we want something else. So we leave the game to go get them something to eat, and we end up at Pizza Hut. Are you fucking kidding me?
Wow.
And I'm like, I'm telling my buddy, I'm like, bro, she did that shit on purpose. She just didn't like the squeaking or something of the basketball
The
game or something.
Yeah.
How annoying.
So I'm right there. I'm like, she's not getting any, and and then she's thinking she's gonna be funny, and she's like, with her water glass, right? She's like acting like she's gonna put water on me, and then she fucking does just a little bit, but it's an ice cube, and that I don't know, I must have just triggered my dickhead, and I fucking grabbed the pitcher of water and boom, got up, I'm like, bam, threw money on the table and fucking left. And I lived right across the street, and then I realized I left my keys in her car.
Fail.
So I'm outside
Karma.
the Pizza Hut. I'm like, bro, like, I left my keys in there, bro, in her car.
That is karma.
And then I had to go back in there because he didn't understand what the hell I was saying.
Oh
and
my God.
I'm like, can I get my keys out? Fuck you. I'm like,
He had
yeah.
to go with his tail between his legs.
I'm like, I guess I deserve that one. But you got me wet. I was like, sorry I got you wet and not the wrong. Come to find out, later that night, she went and 3 guys got their turn with her.
Wow.
And it was like, whoa, I'm sorry.
So-
it wasn't meant to be in the first place because I'm only one man.
So she actually does like getting wet.
Yeah. I prepared her.
Was there anything else you wanted to share? Any other crazy date stories or embarrassing stories or any other questions you have, Jess?
I mean, it's just that swinger community, man. Do you prefer to be the one man in the couple, or do you prefer to be a couple with another couple? So like, do you prefer a threesome or a foursome? What's your preference?
it really doesn't matter as long as the vibe is right. You know, like you know, for instance, a chick I dated in the past, like we had a dude come over and it was like fucking fun. Like he was a cool dude. Like, you know, when I was done, he was able to finish. You know, her.
And you said you're not gay, right? So as long as the other guy doesn't want that with you, you're good.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
And like,
it's all about pleasing the woman.
Have you ever had a sticky situation where the other guy does really want to be with you as well?
Yeah, and he found out real quick that it's gonna go from having fun to, you know, you better learn how to block.
Did you dump a pitcher of water on his head?
No, but my words did more than that.
Have you ever gotten into a fight in the middle of all this shenanigans?
No. At one point, this dude he catfished us, and we were like, "What the fuck?" Like this. So we both said the safety word, but missed it. So we didn't.
You had a safe word, but you didn't realize each other had said the safe word.
It was like the or something, you know. Like,
so creative.
That was a I'm just hypothetical, but yeah, he like brandished a gun because he wasn't gonna get laid. I'm like,
wow,
bro,
wow.
Like,
are you serious?
Yeah, and you always have a safe word.
I mean,
you have to. Like, is that like standard
it goes back to
in the community?
You know?
Okay.
Because if she's not feeling comfortable, then I'm not gonna feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And if I'm not feeling comfortable, and you know, there's been times where, like, for instance, this chick, we met this couple, and the dude was a tool, a fucking douchebag. The chick was smoking hot, like I'm like, hell yeah, you know. But then he was such a tool. I'm like, oh, I'm not even into this. Like, well, the chick I was with was like, wasn't into it. Well, she's like, you can go back to the house and hook up with him. I'm like, no. And she like tried to almost force me to go do that. I'm like, bitch, like,
that's not what it's about.
He's a tool to you. He's a tool to me too. Like, he's a fucking 45-year-old dude with a mohawk, like, thinking it's cool. You know, like, I mean, it would be cool if it was cool, but it wasn't.
Yeah. What's something that always is like, do you have something that's like, I will always use my safe word? Like, if this happens, I will always use my safe word. Like, when do you?
Good question.
What qualifies as a safe word situation?
Like, it's been pretty mutual too with the ladies I've, you know, explored with. No kissing, because that's intimate as fuck.
Okay.
And if a dude tries to kiss, it's like, bro, I will knock you the fuck out. You know the rules. You know, like, not, you know, maybe
he doesn't, but
or like I was randomly in this situation where there's multiple dudes and this guy's wife, and all of a sudden, like, there's some X-rated shit starting to happen. I'm like, oh, okay, chick's gonna get banged out. And the one rule the guy had was condoms, obviously. And one of the guys did it without it.
Yeah, tried to go without.
I'm like, I'm out. I'm out because I don't want to see you get your ass whooped by the husband or whatever. Like, no. So like, those are
a couple of the things.
Maybe not a safety word, but just like
like
red
mission, like red
shit.
red light.
So speaking of getting your ass whooped, are you down for the meat grab? Time for the meat grab, the juiciest part of this segment.
You do
are
know
you
I
down
just
for
said
the grab?
Straight, right?
Up for the challenge? Willing to share? Pick one if you dare.
Oh, gangsters.
Some of them are innocent, some of them are not so innocent. So pick at your own risk.
Steve get Steve get an innocent one.
Two.
You like two?
Two?
Do it.
Two. It's fitting for his.
It is very, very fitting.
Truth. One thing not many people know about me is I have 4 middle names.
Oh, you do? 4 middle names?
2 middle names. What the fuck?
How do you have 4 names
I have 4 names.
4 names. 4 total names.
Okay.
2 middle names.
Roger Bartholomew. A year before I was born, Roger and Bart pulled my dad out of a gas fire. Saved his life.
Oh, wow.
I was like, Dad, can I change my middle name? I don't know how to spell Bartholomew when I was younger. And he's like, he told me the story. I'm like, I'll keep it. That's pretty legit.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Next question.
One thing, what is the most embarrassing thing that has ever happened to you in the bedroom?
Oh, I feel this is going to be
Oh,
good.
shit. So there I was. Getting a rim job and accidentally farted. Oh! It's so funny because her reaction was, ooh, scary. I'm like, that wasn't supposed to happen. Like, at least you made me feel as relaxed as I possibly could, you know? Why are you covering your face like?
Oh my God, that's not where I thought this was going.
Where do you think it was going?
I don't know, but not to rim jobs. I don't know. I wasn't prepared. I was not prepared for this.
Well, that's a wrap. Thank you so much for joining us here at the Meat Market. And thank you so much to Swingin Steve. If you want to meet Steve, please like, follow, and subscribe to all of our socials at Meat Market Podcast.
Hey, and just remember, why have an affair when you can have a threesome?
Ain't it the truth? And thank you so much to our sponsor, Tactical Tax Strategies. This tax season, if you want to preserve your wealth and keep more in your wallet, you need to contact Tactical Tax Strategies. Thanks again, and we'll see you next week at the Meat Market.
Deuces.
Oh my God, I just totally got catfished. He looks absolutely nothing like his picture.
So I found out the guy that I've been dating is married with kids. His wife just reached out to me.